Hi everyone, it's Neve here and welcome to my art journal channel. Today we're going to be playing with some mark making and creating some moody backgrounds and moody hues in my page. So this is part of my 100-day project I did last year, and what I chose to do at the beginning at least was 7 days of something, and then I'd change to something else because I've got a very short attention span, and if I keep doing the same thing over and over I get bored. So this is part of my 7 days of mark making. And with that, I wanted to play around with different colours in my backgrounds. So in this one, this is one of my, I suppose, comfort colours, what I'm really comfortable with, and looking at sort of greys, blues, the cloudy sea, stormy night type colours together. They're some of my favourites. So on this page, I'm using marine, mineral. I think that's all I had in that page, just the two, possibly a grey in there as well, together. To contrast that, after I've scribbled in the background with my Stabilo ink pencil, is to put a little bit of this blushing colour over the top. And I suppose the reason I really like this contrast with it is, while it is obviously a pinky colour, it does have those sort of blue undertones to it, so it sort of fits in quite nicely. Then I'm going in with some apricot, which gives you that complementary colour contrast on the page. So the apricot has sort of orangey yellow undertones, which obviously is, it's not a complementary colour to blue, but it's near the orange. I suppose it's going towards the orange, so it kind of is. Then I'm going in again with a little bit, I think that's night over the top, and then toning it down again with some of that mineral. So it's just about playing around with colours and just having fun. Then I'm going in while the paint is still wet with my Stabilo Oil pencil, and I've got this white, it stinks, it's an oil based crayon. I think it's for laundry marking or something, I don't know. I found it in a shop and it's great for mark making but doesn't necessarily smell the best. So I've put that in the background, and you've got this really cool contrast. I really liked how this page was going, and you saw me take a photo of it. Quite often when I do an abstracty background like this, I will take a photo as I go along. One, I can use it as a bit of a reference, but two, I have a file of those on my computer, so if I'm really stuck for something or if I want a printable, I can just go and print it out, tear it up and use it as collage bits and pieces. So I really love doing that, and I find it really, really helpful. Because I wanted to boost that sort of orangey, yellowy colour, I'm going in with my acrylic ink, and I am putting in some mark making over the top, using the a really small brush, using the end of the brush to do the dots on it, to add a little bit of detail, using the dabber as well to create another effect. And you can see again, because I've changed it, I took another photo of it. So it's just a really handy way of recording what you're doing as you go along, I suppose. I then, because I have a love of sort of these abstracty leaves, this one in particular, I'm going in with some white paint and creating this sort of a background. I'm overlapping the stenciling so that you get this sort of foresty effect in the background. I haven't gone in with a huge amount of paint, so it's still quite transparent. You can still see what's happening in the background, which I really like. It's just putting that little layer of opacity over the top as well. Then I'm going in with my paint pan and doing really scribbly, scratchy lines over the top. Again, to help bring it out, bring it into the foreground a little bit, and to make it a focal image, I suppose, on the page. When you see the close-up of this, you'll notice how quick and loose and scratchy it is. I'm not being very careful. I'm not trying to follow the shape exactly. It's just a rough background, I suppose. So yes, I've got the stencil in the background, but that's just a rough guide of where I'm going to put my mark making over the top. It's not exact, and again, that helps, I suppose, with the looseness and the abstractness, I suppose, of the page. Then I'm going in and just adding a little bit of detail with the white pen. So again, I'm just picking out bits and pieces of it and just adding in a little bit of white as a little bit more of a focus on the page. As I go along, I am drying it off to heat set or to make the acrylic paint permanent. Mostly because I work quite quickly, so I'm a terror for putting my hand in something and smudging it, so I like to dry it off as I go along. Those of you who are much more patient in life, who actually let things dry as you go, you probably don't need to do that. But if you continue working, and you are going to put your hand in it, as you can see there, my wrist is sort of sitting in the middle of where I was just painting, so I find it really, really helpful to make sure it is dried as I go along. Then I'm going in with my paint pen and writing in my quote over the top. So I just roughly write the quote out lightly. Obviously you can use pencil to do that. I tend to just go straight in with my paint pen. One of the reasons is because I mainly work in acrylics, and I know that the entire page has been filled with acrylic paint and has layers of acrylic paint on it. If I make a mistake, I can just use a wet wipe and wipe it off, which you can see I'm doing just there. If I was writing that straight onto paper, I would go in with pencil first, because obviously the paint pen would soak straight into the fibers of the page. So just use what you've got on hand and how you're going to complete that to make sure it works. Again, going in and drying it off, and then I'm going in with my black pen now just to do a bit of a drop shadow, and you can see the difference that makes, pushing it out from the background just by having that really thin line of black. Helps to really make that a focus on the page. Same reason it works around the stenciled image as well. It works on your lettering. So if you find your lettering's getting a little bit lost, try putting a drop shadow on your letters and see if that helps make it more readable. So sometimes just carrying on is a superhuman achievement, and I thought that quote really fitted well with the background, so that moody background. Certainly something that I need to tell myself occasionally, and that's what I love about having quotes in my journals, that they sort of sum up my life experience or what I need to tell myself at the time. So I hope you have a go at playing around with your favourite colour combos, combining quotes and stenciled images and mark making together, and see what you come up with. Until next time, bye for now.